I'm staying not far away at somebody's house. Fortunately, it's like 5 minutes away, so it's very convenient.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
I'm staying at a house too. I was hotels since COVID. The year of COVID, I stayed at a lady's house about 20 minutes away. And then COVID. And then when they reopened, I thought, well, I'm not going to bring my germs in, and she's not going to want me to.
Right.
You know, and she's a nurse. So I talked to her daughter who worked here, because she's not really into the Ren Faire. It's this giant Florida house, like 4 bedrooms, just her and her daughter, just amazing.
Nice. Very nice.
And so I finally reached out this year, because, man, living on the road, well, you're gonna find out now that you're doing it.
Yeah. It's tiring. It's tiring.
Yeah. But before I go any further,
Yes.
Stephon?
Stephon. Or Stephon, depending.
See, now, no.
I know.
Choose. Pick right now.
Well, I say Stephon.
First of all, you have awesome light.
Thank you.
I'm gonna leave it right there.
Thank you. I said it just.
What
like
do you
that
say?
first. I say Stephon.
Then I will say Stephon.
But 98% of the people I know say Stephon, and that's fine with me.
Wait.
I don't care.
I didn't hear any difference.
I put the accent on, or the stress on the first syllable, so
Stephon.
and everybody else puts it on the second one.
Stephon.
Yes.
Well,
So
what would
I'm happy with both.
And it is your natural name.
Yeah.
It's not you're just running from the law, and that's what you're doing.
Exactly. My theory is my mother was still under the influence of the birthing drugs, and was like, I don't want Stephen, and I don't want Stephan, so it's going to be Stephon.
Fancy parents?
Fancy mother, fancy aspiring mother.
Yeah, my neither one of my parents fancy. Very square, military dad, very clean, not clean cut, but I mean, yeah. You know, I was born in 67. What year were you?
64.
64. Oh my goodness.
Yes, I'm old.
Wow.
It's okay.
But we look great.
Not bad. I mean, I'm okay. I see other people sometimes who are like in their mid 50s. I'm like, oh, I don't know what I did.
And you're
right,
shocked, right?
But,
Exactly.
Yeah.
My dad, until the day he died, who I think you've probably met because everybody at the Maryland Renaissance Fair is not my dad. My dad was always the youngest looking old guy in the room. Mm-hmm. Even to the day he died, he didn't look the age he was, 86. But
wow.
He easily could have passed for 85.
85. Nice, impressive. Very
so to get the accent right, I'm sitting here, guys, with shit. I'm nervous now. But on the first?
Yes.
And on.
Yes.
Stephon and Walker's just Walker?
Or Walker. If you're no, just Walker. Yeah.
Stephon Walker. And your act now, I've full disclosure, I've known you a very long time.
It's been,
but we haven't been in contact.
No,
that's just I moved away, and
but yeah,
you don't return my calls.
No. All I have is telegraph these days.
You live in the 19th century.
I do. I'm very committed. It's weird. I'm committed to the old timey thing, but I'm off by 300 years. So,
you are.
No, it was. I started at Maryland 89, 90.
Okay.
So it's been that long.
And by then I was already a solo stage act, and you started in an act called.
Well, I started as part of the court my first year, and then I was part of I was the villain in the village storyline.
Were you?
The next 2 years. And
was that fun?
Yeah, actually, it was a lot of fun.
I hear it's fun to play a villain.
It was a lot of fun.
I've never been. I was a street character in this business, but only for 2 years. I just played a random walking around idiot. I never played a dramatic.
It was a lot of fun, and the thing that was funny was I started out my first year. I was a court guard.
Okay.
Just because there wasn't a different role in the court or in the storyline for me. And Carolyn, the artistic director, had said, we'll probably put you in the court next year. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And as most people, I think when they're first starting out, they're like, being in the court is the peak. There can't be anything better than being in the court.
Right.
So the next year when she contacted me and she was like, I'd like you to be essentially the focus of the storyline for the village. I was like, oh, I thought I was going to be in the court, because I just didn't, when she mentioned it, I didn't appreciate what she was actually offering me. So But
Was it historical characters? I know the Maryland Fair was very historic.
yeah, no, it wasn't.
A made-up character.
It was Baron von Funzerlo, Dieter von Funzerlo.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was fun. It was.
And
fun.
what was your thing? You were hitting on the queen? You were one.
No,
was it a King Fair, then?
it was a King Fair,
It was a King Fair.
and Dieter von Funzerlo was supposed to be the actual owner of the village land.
I remember
so
this.
was coming in to try to repossess it.
I remember this story.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was
And did
great
you
fun being
speak in a
village.
German accent?
I didn't the first year because I didn't have.
It's a hard accent to maintain.
You know, I just didn't have the confidence in the accent.
I was
And-
afraid when I just said that.
Yeah.
That little bit I did, I was terrified.
But I
Sorry if I
tried.
spit on you.
No, you didn't. You didn't. But I mean, but I'd
take
like
care of
you.
it later.
I'd like you to.
Later.
I justified it by, like, if anybody asked, it's like I went to school at Oxford, and then
Sure.
between seasons I repeatedly watched Alan Rickman in Die Hard, and then did the German accent the next year.
So you sounded like Alan Rickman the next year.
I don't know if I sounded like him, but I definitely had his accent.
You didn't say yippee-ki-yay, did you?
No.
Oh, very good.
I mean, I said other stuff.
And that was, and then you went on to, let me see if I can jump ahead for you, help you out here. And then you went on, you became part of a Shakespearean parody act,
Shakespeare Scum.
which still exists?
Yep.
Okay.
We're still doing that.
How many folks have gone through that at this point? Because
Oh boy, well, I was not in the first round. I think I was in.
iteration.
Yes,
Love
yes.
that word.
I was in the second or third, second and a half to third, and then since then, thank you. Since then,
And you're looking good.
It's been wow. We've gone through several.
You're still in the act.
Still in it.
Oh, and it only plays Maryland.
Yes.
It's a local act that never really toured.
Exactly.
Because it's too many people.
It's
You
a
can't make a
combination
profit.
of things.
Yeah.
It's the
Let's dissect that.
all right. Carolyn, who's the artistic director of the fair and created Shakespeare Scum and is the director, she's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
So traveling with the show is difficult for her. We did do a little bit. When I first started, we were doing some school shows. We actually did a brief off-Broadway run, which sounds really impressive until you're doing your show and there's 3 people in the audience. Because we were nobody, you know,
Yeah.
but it was fun.
It was
fun.
off in Hoboken.
And it was, yeah, and it was also during one of the biggest. The second weekend was during one of the biggest blizzards that New York had.
But you were on Manhattan Island.
Yeah,
Wow.
we were not that far off. I mean, we were within a couple blocks walking distance.
I would say just Manhattan Island. I mean, if you're on Manhattan,
Well, I mean, it's and I didn't actually
Near
know this
Midtown.
at the time. It's off Broadway versus Broadway is the house size. It's the
Correct.
number of seats. It's not
Nothing
where
to do with
you
location.
are. You could be in Times Square in a
Right.
20-seat theater and you'd be off
you
Broadway.
were in a 99er or whatever.
We were, I don't know. My memory of it is that it was like closer to 300, but I think that crosses the
big.
threshold.
Yeah, that's big.
So I don't think it was that big.
And
but-
3 people in 300 emotionally
Yeah.
would look a lot worse than 3 people in a 99.
Yeah.
So
So
I've done. I was at a comedy festival in Australia where you walk
Yeah.
out and 3
Yes.
people. Real brutal.
One of my favorite stories of that is that 2 of the other people who were in Scum and I and a couple other people did a It was the Frogs by I want to say Aeschylus, but I'm not sure that's correct
Heard
anymore.
of
But
it,
anyway,
I can't tell you the
ancient Greek play, and we didn't update it or modernize it, but we added kind of vaudeville elements to it, and we intentionally did I think it was 2-week, 15-day, whatever run, because that's the minimum you need to do to be eligible for a Helen Hayes Award, which is DC's
Sure.
Theater Awards.
Yeah.
And one day
That big
we
statue at the
had
Kennedy Center.
yes, that's right. We had it's weird because Helen Hayes she, in that statue looks very
Pissed off.
and I would say heteronormatively male. So yeah, and a bit like a Kennedy. Just a coincidence. Anyway,
People from the DC area we can.
yeah, this is fascinating for everybody who lives
Anyway, so
outside
you're
of
doing
here.
the Frogs.
So we're doing the Frogs.
The play. You're not actually
The play.
touching.
We are
Okay, clear.
trying to get into the Helen Hayes Awards, and we know they send out an adjudicator for that. And we have a performance where it's a matinee, and there is 1 person in the audience, which is already torture, and it's the Helen Hayes adjudicator. So No, nothing makes your show look more
Yeah, but
award worthy than. Or
Yeah, but if you
nomination
commit to
worthy.
that material, right?
Oh, we did, and we did a full.
You got to think somebody who's an adjudicator can go, yeah, it sucks in an audience. I'm gonna look at the art.
You'd like to think so, but I will say we did not get a nomination.
Exactly.
So
I did the LA Fringe Festival, and the lady that was writing a lot of the reviews for the not the Times, but I guess it was for the LA Times. Came when I had three people, and I did an okay show, but it affected my emotions a bit.
Sure.
And her first liner was, first of all, don't get me wrong, Brian Howard is talented. However,
nobody cares.
well, like he seemed like he didn't care.
Yeah.
The energy I brought was the same energy I wanted to make the show have, which was this laid back chill thing, which in an audience at a Fringe Festival of like 40 would have worked.
Right.
But instead of an audience of 3, it looks like I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
So,
Yep.
and she should have known better, but that's okay. That's water under the bridge. But now you're a solo act on the Renaissance Fair circuit.
I am.
How you liking it?
I like it. I like it a lot. I wish I had started earlier.
Yeah.
And I wish I had started doing what I'm doing earlier. And that's the thing that bothered me for a while, because I was like, if I had started this when I was in my 20s or 30s, then I'd be so much farther along, and I'd be able to, have been doing it
Because you're
longer.
not like full time on the road yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm like one festival shy of being able to do full time.
You're in your late 50s. You got plenty of time.
Early 50s, yeah. I'm in my late 50s.
Late? I said late.
Yeah. Okay.
did say
I can't hear because I'm in my early 50s, and I. Yeah. So
that's an interesting point. And you told me this last week because I hadn't seen you in a while, and I asked you, I wanted you to do this, and I said, anyway, how have you been? What are you working on? And you said you're doing this fair. And what are the fairs you do what is your name of your act?
It's Less S More Will Steal Your Stuff. It is a comedy stage pickpocketing act.
Very unique skill set.
As far as I know, it is I'm sure there are some magicians
Pickpocketing act. Hope you guys heard that.
I'm sure there are magicians on the circuit who are doing, might do a watch deal or something. But as far as I know, I'm the only full pickpocketing, dedicated show on the circuit.
Okay, now did this come from a desire to work on your adroit skills like a magician? Because I know you also do magic stuff.
Yeah,
Or were you just an urchin who worked for Fagin and you got the skills?
That is what it is. That's the story I tell. Honestly, it was that I had been doing a different act, Swami Omami, which was a comedy sideshow.
Right, I remember that one.
And
you big nerdy glasses, a little bit of character. I think you had a tooth application.
Fake teeth, yeah.
Well, that must have been hard.
It was weird to adjust to, but if you get the quality prosthetics,
fake teeth.
Yeah, it actually they fit to your teeth, and it's easy to talk with. Sometimes they're hard to get out,
right?
Because they.
So that was the first solo act.
That was the first totally solo act.
Sideshow type stuff.
All sideshow,
Swallowing,
comedy.
firing.
No sword swallowing. That's like the one sideshow thing I don't
Magic.
do, and we don't do
Blockhead,
Fire at Maryland. But yeah, blockhead, bed of nails, walking on glass, stapling, all the standards.
Stapling.
Yeah. I didn't do that at the festival so much because that's more of a hat thing, and we don't do hat at Maryland. But I did that for a long time, and first of all, I had done everything I could think of to do with it, and unless I was going to start from scratch and rewrite all of my bits, there is a limited number of sideshow skills out there, so I wasn't going to be able to add new stuff.
So you felt that the material was the limiting factor of that particular incarnation of the solo show.
I did, and
as opposed to, if you don't mind me throwing that out there, and as opposed to perfecting like a good 20-minute chunk. Okay, never mind. I just realized I have nowhere to go with that.
Well, no, it's interesting you bring that up because I was just thinking about that last night. I feel like that. Thank you. Yes.
No. I also had to do that.
Oh, I thought it was one of those things like
no.
like you spill the salt and so your host spills it also, so you don't feel awkward.
I've been fighting it for a few minutes. Good, he's doing it. Good. Okay, good. Eye boogers. Okay.
I feel like there's kind of broadly speaking two styles of performers. There are people who put together an act and they work on it until they feel like it's the best act that they can possibly do, and they're like, this is good, and this is the act I'm going to do, and they will do that act with very little change for decades, which is
feeling a little
fine.
called out.
No, it's not a criticism. at all. You know what? If you've got an act that you think is like what it should be, and you can keep doing it, that's great.
I do add new stuff, but it's not a yearly thing. Anyway, and
But
what's the other kind of?
The other kind, I think, is someone who I fall into that category. Sorry about that. I don't know if the mic picks it up.
It is. You've been doing it the whole interview.
Cool,
It's very
cool,
annoying.
cool.
All
Darn
this
it.
editing to do. Stop it.
Anyway,
What's the other act, Stephon?
that people who
Stephon.
Yes, thank you. People who just don't get. I just can't get satisfied with it. I will work on it to the point where I don't feel like I have the capability of making it any better, and then I'm like, okay, well now I'm stagnating, and
That's a great performer goal.
I guess
Always be improving.
It is, but I guess it would be nice to get to a point where, like, every time you add something and you work it to where you think it's really good, that's very satisfying. You're like, okay, this is good.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to be able to get to that point with your whole act and be able to go, okay, this whole thing is good,
Right.
and go on from there. But
Right.
somehow what was good when you got it working now starts to feel stagnant as a whole, even though
Okay.
it's the same thing that was good when you created it.
I got it.
Right?
Yeah.
So that happens to me. And so that was happening with Swami Omami. Plus, I had been doing it. At that time, I wasn't traveling to any other fairs. I was doing it exclusively at Maryland.
You did it here, though.
That's true. I forgot. I did
Yeah.
I did one weekend
one?
here.
Only
yeah.
one weekend?
Yeah, it was kind of a tryout thing. Or maybe it was 2 weekends.
I could have
don't
sworn
know.
you were here a whole season, but
No, definitely not.
I never leave my backstage.
But I actually, I didn't realize it till I came back here, but I was on the stage you're on now.
Right. When it was kinked over there.
Yes.
That's probably when I was over there with Robin.
You were
Casey.
over there, but thank you, because I thought
Yeah.
it
same
was
stage,
slightly different angle.
over where the bathrooms are.
Good. See, it's not
Inside
just being
baseball.
old.
So your act now is pickpocketing, and you
Yes.
make a whole 30-minute
Yep.
comedic story around it.
Yeah.
And what fairs are you doing right now, other than the Florida?
Let's see. This past year, I did
Where
Florida.
can people see you this year coming?
They can see me. Well, I'm still booking that. Some fairs are very late to get back to you.
What are you telling me, Stephon, that the Ren?
So doing Florida. After this, the next one that I know I'm doing is Maine in July. So that's a big gap, and then Maryland in August, and then I'm waiting to hear back from a couple others that I'm not going to call out right now. But
Fair enough.
But let us say I would like to hear from them in the next couple weeks, because they start within the next few months.
So I want to sum up, and I'm going to go back to that idea. The thing you told me last week. You are a little older than me, but you got into it late. You're happy with your regular gig. Don't have to worry about saying what it is. Doesn't matter. But you think you're going to transition to full-time this?
I would like to.
Okay.
Yeah.
right,
It's
good.
I don't mind mentioning the regular gig. I've been working as a part-time veterinary technician for a long time.
Which is a sweet job.
I love it. I
You
really
love
do.
animals.
I love animals. I like the people I'm working with. I like the medical aspect of it. It fascinates me.
Now you come here and you still work with animals.
Exactly.
Hear that? Some advanced comedy right there.
That was. And by the way, your owner told me that he wants to send you to a lovely farm where you can run with other jugglers. So we'll talk later.
It's great. So what? Yeah, we got to wrap things up. Go ahead.
Okay, just
Sure,
real
that's
quick.
okay.
2 years ago,
we
when
can keep
I
going, but we
first-
both have shows to do.
We'll just tell him to come over here.
2 years ago.
2 years ago when I started here,
Okay.
just before I came down from the DC area, I was like, I'm going to get my official veterinary technician's license, essentially. I was trained on the job, so I didn't go to school for it. And that's going to be my thing. And I bought all these materials, and then I came down here and started performing. And after the first weekend, realized I love veterinary stuff, but this is what I want to do. This
Okay.
is, so...
So even though you've been involved in this biz for a while, it was this fair and that trip that finally went, what are you doing?
I've been doing this for a long time, and I've had shows...
In a small area, not enough to make a living at it.
Right.
But you see the world. You see the world.
And not just Renaissance Festival. I mean, I've been professionally acting since I was 17.
Right.
But I just wasn't in the right, emotional, mental...
And finally it
place.
snapped.
Yeah, to say I'm gonna, just take this out and pursue other things. I would sit down I'd be like, I need to take Swami Omami to other fairs, and I'd sit down to write emails, and I'd go, this is too much, I can't do this. And then I don't know, I mean, there wasn't any inciting incident. It was just at some point I was like, I can do this, and I want to.
Well, I think there was. It was you went really official with your vet stuff. Remember, before coming
Yeah.
here to the gig, you did that. You did a little work for that. I'm sure you had to hustle and practice and study and get all your stuff. Then you got your little document. And then
Well, I didn't actually get. I didn't.
Oh.
I brought the stuff down here. I was like,
To
oh, I've got
study.
9 weeks. I'm going to study. When I get back, I'll take the test
Oh.
and stuff. And then I was like, yeah, you know what? That's not what I want to dedicate my time to. So
Interesting. It was like me dropping out of art school. I dropped out of art school the year I started at the Maryland Renaissance Fair, realizing not that I wanted to be a Ren Faire guy, just that I did want to be a performer. Because in high school I was an art kid and a theater kid. I also played football. I was pretty well rounded. Anyway, and I was being pulled in two directions. My drama teacher was like, hey, I'm going to set up an audition for you if you want. I got a guy in Manhattan. He's going to. I said, no, I think I'm going to go with the art thing. My art teacher's like, great. We go to the Maryland College of Art and Design. And then I realized I should have gone the other way because performing is really where I wanted to be.
yeah.
But it's nice to have a little, I can draw decently.
That's nice.
I'm going to do this with my hands, Stephon. This reminds me in the editing process, this is where your graphics are going to be right here at the bottom of the screen. Tell people right here where they can find you online, Facebook, Instagram, or none of the above.
I am on. I'm old, so I'm on Facebook still, and that's at less. Or not at. There's no at there. Less S More Show, and then
Less, L-E, better spell it.
That's a good point. LESS.
I mean, it'll be right here.
MOORESHOW.
Whatever, it's still going to be right there. Just try
Good,
stuff.
good.
That wasn't a waste. Anyway.
And then everything else at Less S More Show on Instagram, and I don't know if I'm still on X. I don't know if I got off of that or not.
I'm on it. I never use it.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm again too old for TikTok. So basically, Facebook and
There you go.
Instagram and Less S More Show. Is that my Less S? No. Hi. I know what I do.
You already said it, and it's
No,
already
but
on the screen. You have a website, too.
I have a website. That's the one I'm trying to remember.
It'll already be there.
Good.
Just
good.
point down at
Thank
it.
you.
There's the website.
It's right here. It's right there.
There it is. It'll be right about there. Don't touch the lens.
Don't touch the lens. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. Okay.
So I'm sitting here with my good friends, Stephon Walker. Damn, I fucked up. Stephon Walker.
It's like I said.
Less is more. Check him out of the Ren Faire circuit. He may be out there a little more.
Or less.
He's an older dude, but he's young in the world. There we go.
I like that. That's
and right
good.
now I'm checking, and my wallet is gone.
However, he's got his glasses missing.
No, they're still there.
I put them back.
Okay. Say goodbye right down the barrel.
Goodbye. Right down the barrel.